Hello, everybody. Welcome to Battle Pirates the Crib Open Mic. The link's in the right-hand side in case you'd like to join the show. We're going to talk about Krampus, and I think we're going to talk a little bit about some of the expectations for the next raid. But yeah, I was a little bit disappointed the fact that I think the TLCs next week are going to be limited to Buccaneer and Buccaneer boon tokens. So it might make you guys change your mind as far as spending all that time building the flagship for the Eradicator. At least in my mind, I haven't worked out everything because I just heard about that recently. So let me go ahead and introduce everybody from left to right. Magic Mike.
Hello, everybody. Hope your cramps are okay.
Yeah. And Watchman.
Hi, everyone.
And Father George, TSC Pirate of the Year nominee.
What?
Yeah.
Is that for the biggest a-hole?
Yeah. So if you win, you get a free hat.
Is that need a round of applause?
Yay.
I was
Good evening, everybody. What the hell?
You made that list.
What
Right
list?
now, it doesn't look like you're going to finish well. I'm not on the list, but it's between Ren and Padre. I thought Padre might show up on the show just for this. But
What list?
they made up some list of people that are nominated for Pirate of the Year. So
Pirate of the
yeah,
I'm not a pirate of the year. Shit. I can't hit fucking bases with crap.
Well, Ewok hasn't got a vote yet.
You're kidding. That's a shit list then. Who's winning?
Yes. Ren
might be a helpful pirate of the year, but he's not a pirate of the year. What the hell kind of list is this? Where is this list?
I don't know. I'm not in control of it.
It's a TFC list? Oh, it's a
BP
TFC
Hammer
list.
Time. It's on
It's on Hammer Time?
Yeah,
oh my
on that
goodness.
page.
Oh,
that's a bad sign.
All right, but you're a nominee. I think you were in fourth last time I looked.
Good lord, I shouldn't even be on that damn list.
Oh, I'm just about to vote for you.
Oh my goodness!
Yes. We'll make a big push for George so you can see that.
I haven't been around, man.
Padre, so either way, your choices between those two. And Ben.
Hello, everyone. I'm voting for George to be the Pirate of the Year for cussing.
Okay, there we go.
Hey, we're gonna reach at least 35 or more people for you.
There we go.
Oh my.
All righty, and this is Hefe, not Pirate of the Year.
Did you skip Dr. Death?
No, I dropped for a second so I could try and fix my stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now he came back, and Dr. Death.
He's ninjing us. Okay.
Yep, yeah. I'm here. I just had to get my stuff fixed.
Okay. And I'm proud again. Before we even started the show, we had 2 thumbs down, and we're already to 3. We're at 3-0. So we've started off well. So, but as far as the news I got that I sort of teased earlier was the fact that when I looked at my builds for the Eradicator, it seemed like we could potentially get 4 done. Maybe not completely as we wanted to, but we could get 4 ships done. But that wasn't really including the new armor or doing anything with the flagship. And normally we would get this week or next week, we would be getting a TLC that would provide us some modicum of help. A week of tokens, if you did the mastery X number of times or whatnot. But it doesn't appear, according to what CM Chris said in Discord, that that's what we should expect. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but I wouldn't plan on that with your build at this point. So personally, I am delaying rebuilding the the brutal eradicator, because I got 2 pretty much built with no armor. I got 1 half built with no armor, and I got 1 that is basically a blank with a thud. I think I can get all 4 of them done, but there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to spend the 20-something days in order to get the flag done to make it that useful. So, anybody have any thoughts on that? And we've been told by High Lord.
Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm back in town. I'm back in the game. I'm off vacation.
Very good.
Obviously, you're playing Battle Pirates.
Well, I actually just got off the train like fucking half hour ago. So I was out of town for a week. So now I have time to waste time in Battle Pirates.
And clearly he's back on his happy juice.
Oh yeah. Dude, I left DC at like fucking 8 o'clock this morning. I just got home. But anyways, a little bit about the flag. I just signed on. I'd missed like the first couple minutes, but the flag, I'm just putting on one CL3, and I'm putting on actually an anti-mort. I want that bitch to sit in the corner because the aura is for the entire fleet, and I'm just gonna build it blank. That's my go on it.
Do you think you're going to have time to get everything done on your ships, on your regular ships, and spend the 9, 10? Well, your build sounds about like 10 and a half, 11 days.
Well, it's a little over 9. I'm going to use the FM tokens to crank that out. I saved some from last week, and I haven't even done this week, so I'll push that out real quick. And then all my other ERADs are like halfway done. I don't know if I'm going to have any armor on. I might have like 1 or 2 real pieces on, but then I'm just going to use DC1 to fill in the blanks for the first raid.
Yeah, that could be a way to go. I was just sort of surprised we didn't get any, any tokens, any build time pushed into the economy.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed.
What they're tuning for, and I never got an answer back. If they're tuning for a full fleet of 4, fleet of 3, what are they actually tuning for in the high end targets? So.
Yeah, I'm very disappointing in the event. There's no co-op. Everything is you have to use this or that or this or that. You can't use mixed fleets, and they threw the mana core back in there again, which is horse crap. There is a hidden target in the back channel on the left. I noticed on the mana core target, there's nothing there, but you have to hit the S key to go find it to finish the target off. I'm like, what the hell is this?
You have to drive around. Yeah, they've enlarged the target, haven't they? Made it a bit bigger. Yeah.
Yep.
It's like those storage tank thingies that's on the left.
Yep.
It surprised me the first time I hit it. I thought, huh? What's left?
That's what I said too. And then I finally hit the S key. I'm like, I don't see anything. And then it drove over there and it shot it in an invisible target. I'm like, this is bull.
Yeah, I had to spin around at the bottom to get the bottom one because I was using scatters. So like when when you'd crawl up on the base like onto the land and everything. You know what I mean? The same sort of technique. They have a little spin around sort of thing. Just to get it. Yeah. But it works. And yeah,
I just got it was like, I've been out of town, so I was limited. I wanted to see my nephew. He's almost 3, so that was more important than this crap. But I got the hull, and I got that going, and I got the armor, and I'll put a little bit more into it, but I do not understand after the first few hours, the 2 to 3 million points for just to say for a free hat. I don't get that, but that to each their own.
Yeah. Well, if you missed the beginning of the show, George is in line for a free hat.
Oh, really? Good for you, bud.
Yeah, not because of his points, because TFC loves him so much.
Hey, well, he deserves one.
Yeah,
but I could go take that online and get the same thing for $20, if I wanted.
What are they
and
doing?
I would make
like a top 10 or something.
Top 61.
Yeah, I think for less than they spent, you could buy the whole alliance hats if you just went to China.
Yeah, you could buy like a cake. You could buy 150 of them for $100, or you could spend $250 in blitzing and get one for free. But whatever, it is what it is. It's people have.
I'm just having fun with George with this whole thing. But okay. The other thing I noticed, the first day of Krampocapalypse or whatever it is. I got a lot of lag in the 100 and the 102.
Oh yeah.
I did eliminate the particle effects, and what was the other one? If you go to settings, I got rid of particle effects and what's the other one? Not in the game. It's like the top 3 when you go to settings, and it really cut back on my repair time because of the lack of lag I was getting in there. Because
Oh,
I
wow.
was like, especially on the 102, because when I first did it, I got like 2.5 hours of damage. And
projectile
then I waited for the lag to go down, and then I'm down like below an hour and a half on that one. But that was just due to lag because my flagship was just getting pummeled. And then
Yeah, the flag melted. I mean, after like a hit or 2 hits. I tried a couple targets and it was crazy. And I know Kicks turned up the damage so they'd get all that mass amount of coin for the blitzers because they knew everybody was going to do it, and they did it. So hopefully, I mean, they'll dial it back down so the rest of us can get some points. But I mean, I really don't need much, and I'm not going for a little sticker that says I'm number 1. I could give a shit less. I just need what I need, and the rest is whatever.
Right.
Yeah,
There's only
I mean, there's not really that many points required by players that are caught up. I mean, you basically need to get the flag and the armor, which is
Yeah.
80. So hit 3 sets and you got 90, and you're good. And there's not much else out there that I want. I'm not going to spend too much time getting a hyper 30. I've already got like
Oh yeah.
10 extra or something like that.
Yeah, you just scrap I mean, we can scrap the free bats and get all those extra items for free, which is great. And I threw a grease monkey on and I did one, and it was like a 100, and I was like, all right, I got 5K. Since I'm limited on time, do I blitz it real quick and just blast out and get the hole going? And then I'm like, wait a second, I got plenty of time. There's no point. Let me just throw like a coin or 2 on there, go hit a couple more, and instead of blitzing it and wasting like 100 gold, I think I might have spent like 15 or 20 gold, and I got like and I did complete a couple sets, so I got like 95,000, and I haven't even went back into the game yet. This is just like so I get the flag started.
Well, I'm going to pick up the Gal Fours, the Cormorant anti-torps, and the missile defense system freeze. I finished with 504k.
Wow, nice, bud.
Yeah, I did one of each target. I did first of all the 100s with my bat race, and I thought with a grease monkey, and I thought, well, okay, this is okay. This is a lot worse, a lot better than I was expecting. I was expecting a lot worse,
Yeah.
I'm not the best driver in the world, but I was getting about 3 coin repair with grease monkey on. I thought, yeah, I can live with that. And then I used what's the other bloody fleet for the
The razors. The razors.
Yeah, right, so I tried the razors. That was painful in the 102s. So then I put my flag bat ray with the razors. Still wasn't happy with it. And in the end, I just went in. Yeah, I just went in with the bat ray fleet into 102s and got a 3 coin repair.
What were you taking with the razors?
I'll tell you what. The first time I went in with a full fleet of them, and I mean I got the flag razors as well, flag razor, and I think I got about 11 coin repair, and I thought, all right, no, well I haven't got time to refit.
What?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening there. It could have been in my driving. I don't know, but
I took an hour and a half damage, and I wasn't even trying to drive.
Yeah, it could be the build. I mean, but
my Occam's he melted, and I was like, whatever.
So I just went in with a bat race and got the same 3 coin repair, and I thought, yeah, I can live with that. I can live with that. And so I did I did an hour and a half of hearing them, and then finally went with my scatter mantis into the 90s, and roughly about the same again, And I ended up, because when I was hitting, obviously every time I was hitting the 90s, I was getting 20k every time, and suddenly like the points went up to 504k, and I thought, yeah, I obviously took what I needed, and now I haven't claimed all the other prizes yet because I've got I'm not building those at the moment. You know, things that need them, but I will do. But
Yeah,
I'll,
you'll grab the Conqueror tokens. I mean, I'm sure I will at the end too. And I wanted to refit my razors and bats because of those campaigns. Because of holiday travel, I sat back and I pushed it too long, and then it was over. I'm like, shit. But I don't really need it. But it would have been nice to like do some fine tuning, and I could have did it for free, but I screwed up and whatever. But there's only so much you need, and there's not really much offered in this.
Yeah,
I mean, for us, there's a lot offered for other people, but for where we're at, we don't really need much.
Well, that's it. So I did try. It was supposed to be the correct fleet. It wasn't working for me, so I went in. I went in with a bat raise, and they did it fine. You know,
Nice.
maybe I should drive the bats better. I don't know. You know, I mean, it might just be me. Like,
well, it could be the range. You can have more range. You know, the racers you got to get right on the target.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at killing those subs with them, so you know.
Okay. Yeah, they're basically the bacon targets. I haven't seen a lot of change besides the snowballs appearing to cause more lag. Personally, I'm taking about the same amount of damage. It appears the snowball is just a random thing that affects every projectile, because even the torpedoes can turn into snowballs.
Yeah, I just saw that right in the beginning. I was like, whoa, this is weird. But it was kind of neat for a second, but then it's just like, what the hell?
Well, if it's causing all the lag that people are having, you know.
Yeah, I sent like 4 tickets. I got 1 response, but, at least I got a little kickback. So I was like, all right, I just got 100,000 pretty much for free.
The legs were polling at the beginning of the game. I mean, I could hardly move the map, and then I put Harbour Acceleration on, and that helps a lot.
Oh, it does? It did help.
Yeah,
that's odd. I'd never put that on anymore. After like the first couple of weeks, I'm like, this thing's garbage.
No, it did make a difference for me. It might be individual cases. It depends maybe how many hops you have to take to this. To them. I mean, because I live obviously in the UK, and we have to bounce across quite a few hops before we connect with the Kickside server. But it did seem to work.
Obviously, because you're blue.
Right.
Just kidding. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. I also found as well that the lag was slightly less if you logged in via Kickside, as opposed to just Google. Facebook. Yeah, Facebook. Yeah. So that was useful as well. I mean, for people that maybe haven't got Harbour Acceleration, the lag was a little bit better if you do have a Kickside login.
Yeah, I have one. I just barely don't use it that often. I just use it to write tickets most of the time.
Yeah. Okay. But it's basically bacon, different prizes. You don't have to get as many points or hit as many targets. There's no loot drops in this one.
Yeah, I know that sucks. No skins, no shards. It sucks. It kind of sucks.
Well, it depends.
Well, given
half the people are like, "Oh, I had to do this one to get all the antis that we got, in these other ones." Or
oh yeah, that was the Dutchman. Yeah, I went crazy on that. I had like 15 of both, so I was like set after that one.
Yeah, given the time that they had this come out, I mean, I'm kind of glad. I'm not that thrilled that it's out. Period, but. For what it is, I mean, if you have the fleets to do one of each target, I'm hearing people getting like 11 coin of damage, like and losing fleets. I don't know. I got 2 hours or less, between 1.5 and 2 hours of damage for each target. And you only got to do 3 of each target, and you're done essentially.
Yeah, you're right, George. I mean, in reality, that's pretty much all you need. I mean, the guys that are getting 11 hours damage are the guys that are using the bat raise, and they didn't listen to us, and they didn't do the 1-day refit and change those 2 things. And they're like, why isn't it working? Well, we told you what you did to do, and you had time to it's a 1-day refit for 5 ships, and you didn't do it, and now you can't do what you need to do.
Yeah, I mean, I had the full bat ray fleet, and they worked fine. They worked fine in both targets, in the 100 and the 102. That I was finding it quite easy, but it was the other fleet that I was struggling with, for some reason. But at least I the bat race to fall back on.
Yeah.
No, I mean the bottom line is no matter what, even if you don't have all 3 fleets, you've got 4 days to grind out 90,000 points, and you can do it even with slow repair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, say I did try all the variations, and then even tried changing up the the flag with the razors and things like that, and see if that would help. And then I thought it's still not making that much of a difference, and so I did try, but
I'm gonna reference this because this is something that I've noticed, and even though I'm tinfoil hat guy and I'm always bashing kicks, I got to give kudos for this. Because we remember, we used to love the raids when we could go do a raid, spend a couple hours, and be done.
Yes.
Get back to doing whatever we wanted. Well, that's what this event is.
Yeah, you're right.
You can either put in the seat time and do it completely free, or you can blast it out in a short period of time, and then go off to do whatever else you want to do.
But that's it. I mean, I've had a bit of a lazy day today. The wife's out of hospital. It's her 28th birthday. She's singing in the background at the moment because she's been drinking Jack Daniels.
Nice.
She's happy, So, but yeah, so today has just been a lazy day because it's been a bit of a hectic time of year for me. I don't know it's for everybody, but I've had some sort of added complications thrown into it. So yeah, it's been nice just to have a do fuck all day. To be honest with you.
See, I'd be kind of okay-ish. I mean, I kind of agree with you, Dr. Death, but the problem is that it's, it's yet another event that's raid-esque right after a month that we just had one. I mean, if this is going to be a monthly thing, I'm not going to be a happy pirate.
Oh no, I agree with you, and I said that completely on Wednesday's show too. I mean, I'm sick and tired of event after event after event. But sadly, I'm looking at things, and when I'm seeing the top 100 players in the game all have over 1 million points, they've all spent a couple $100 to get a stupid hat.
Yeah.
That tells me that this is an event that's going to keep running because Kix is making money off it. They made money off the first one. They made money off the second one. They've made money off this one, which means we're going to see another one in January.
Oh, yeah. I mean, this is the point is as the event goes, the event is itself.
So why don't they market hats and shirts and stuff?
The damage, the damage is reasonable. Okay, I think
put it on the site and sell them.
If you have the right fleets, the damage is reasonable. Okay, the level and the amount of targets that you need to hit to win the top prizes, as we've said before, isn't that high.
Yeah.
But the obviously the problem I've got is the same as George brought up is the fact that we have to do this raid, and the fact that the flagship wasn't released in last month's proper raid. Because I believe that the whole fleet should be released because we've now got the escalation armor, or in this one. So if anyone started building their fleet with armor,
I'm so glad I didn't put any armor on because this is the armor. This is the armor to use, and all that shit from FM and everything else is fucking pretty much garbage.
Well,
that's not garbage.
I wouldn't say the FM stuff is garbage.
It's not garbage, but if you're gonna put a piece on and they're all basically the same amount of time but a little bit different, this is the one to put on. If you haven't put any on yet,
that's it. Fortunately, I hadn't fitted any.
To be like a 3-in-1 mix. You want 3 of the folded ferrite, and then 1 of probably one of the other ones to account for the additional ballistic damage.
I won't have that for the raid, but by raid 2 I will. But I'm not pushing it like these guys.
What's it, 1 day, 9 hours per plate, isn't it, or something like that? So that's
yes,
hell of a long build time, Yeah.
My alt, it got the free bat ray fleet from last month, and I just made the 2 changes. One special and put the 1 armor on.
Yeah.
And I can do the 100s. And mind you, it's the regular bat rays, no flag.
Yep.
2.5 to 3 hours damage per 100, depending how I drive. He's already got the folded ferrite.
Well done.
That's awesome, and you have the bats now, so where you can get you. So if you spent like a couple days rolling and got a grease monkey, you could cut that down even more if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he spent a couple days rolling, he's too old for that.
I'm just saying, though.
Never mind. That was a joke. Never mind.
I used to roll like crazy, but we're talking about clubs in Fort Lauderdale and a different thing.
But it's just to point out it can be done.
Yes.
And still got what, 3 days?
Yeah, there's a lot of time. I wish they would have had some. I was hoping they would have had, at least like 5 eradicator tokens and 5 flag tokens.
Oh, that'd have been awesome.
That would have been perfect. That's that's not too many, but it's a couple.
No, that's something that they've been cutting out. They've been cutting out our ability to do whatever it is that the current PvE hole, not PvP, but PvE hole is. They're cutting out the ability to get any advantage on it because
I know.
they even took the 12-hour token out of bounty.
I know, that's crazy, and that that was not much, but it was still something.
Well, this is it. I mean, it's to encourage you to coin the fleet, isn't it? Obviously.
Right.
You
And
know,
they will have the raid. I guarantee the raid's going to be set to having a full fleet, and only the people that have coined are going to be able to do it easy.
Something I don't understand though is they are giving tokens away for the Shrike to certain leaderboard.
That's just for only a couple of people. That's not really.
Yeah,
it's very like a 5% maybe might get that, if that.
Why put Shrike tokens in an event that the Shrike's not even released yet?
Well, because they
these
get
guys are
the head
probably
start
guys.
on the build, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Well,
And
that
get
was
the
the whole.
build,
That was the whole point with
Yeah.
this event, and I knew it was going to happen. And I'm sad to say it. I mean, Kix has been doing all right here and there. We all have our issues, but I knew this shit was going to happen, and I could see the writing on the wall. They are getting such a response from these coiners in the first few hours that they're just opening up the bank vault and letting the money flow in, and then after they complain after a day or two, they tune it down a little so that it's a little bit more fair. But they know now that they can do this. They've already proven the system works in the past 3 months from these events, and they're like,
Yeah, I mean,
we're going to ride this out.
Well, let's divide the coiners from the blitzers.
Yeah, I mean, I spent about £15.
Well, I mean blitzers. I don't mean coiners. I mean blitzers. I meant the blitzers in the first 3 hours.
They're a the blitzers are a subset.
So they're like a 5-10% of the game, if that.
Not even.
Way smaller than that.
Well, I'm just saying it's okay, maybe like a 1% out of 25,000 people that play. Only there's like 15 that are really active, and there's probably like 200 or 300 that actually do that crazy blitzing thing in the first few hours.
Okay.
I just wonder, when one guy is, as we know, is on 5 million, yeah, and all the others have spent how much money to not win something?
Yeah, right. Like, why would you?
But that's Kickstarter's new philosophy, because now look at this. Okay, we had our last raid, right? The last raid was jacked up so bad that it was cheaper to hit one target and blitz the whole fucking raid than it was to play the game. So it was cheaper not to play.
Yeah, I
agree,
actually blitzed that. I did actually blitz that one.
Then they turned around and came out with the FM. They tried to do the same thing with the FM. They jacked the FM up. And for the first couple hours until they tuned it back down, it was cheaper to blitz the FM than it was to do the FM.
But that's the new key, though.
Hard, yeah.
Don't blitz in the first few hours unless you have the extra coin to spin, because they're doing that now. That's their new system, I've noticed, is the first day or the first 6-8 hours, they're going to have the damage crank to fucking max. So these guys will just be like, whatever, and blitz like crazy. So until they roll that back down, just if you want to save some money, just slow it down and wait a day.
I mean, I'm fully expecting that same philosophy to be this coming up raid.
I agree with you.
And then they changed the VXP so that you had to hit the damn target 15 times on a suicide.
Yeah, that was nuts. I didn't even the first time I never ranked a ship, and I've always ranked ships.
But their new philosophy seems to be you can pay us to play the game, or you can save some money and pay us not to play our game.
Yeah, right.
I'm expecting to find. I'm expecting to find a blitz target. Let's just say that I'm expecting the next raid to be tuned for a full fleet of 5 with the flag. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a blitz target in there. Okay, that is a little bit easier to do, and with a minimum blitz coin.
Throw a greaser on there and go get 100 million, 200 million, and be done with it, and spend like 100 coins.
That's where they're going to try and steer you at. You know what I mean? Yeah. They're going to try and steer you towards that blitz. I
mean, it is what it is.
Not to play.
Yeah.
Who the fuck? I'm sorry, but I couldn't do it. I just, I'm a coiner. I've had no problems ever spending money on the game because I'll support the business.
But
I'm not going to pay the company to not play their game.
So it was what you get 10K for a blitz for 15 gold. Yeah.
Correct.
15 gold for because they double the points. Yeah. Well, I was getting 10K for 6 gold.
Yeah, so was I. That's what I was saying. That's why I almost blitzed it at that one moment because I was limited on time. And I'm like, okay, I got like 2 hours of my brother's. I'm like, do I just blitz it? I'm like, wait, I still got a lot of time on my grease monkey. It only cost me like 3 coins to fix whatever, and I got 5K. So I just rotated the grease monkey throughout the fleets, crushed a couple, finished a couple sets, and next thing you know, I'm at 95K, and I'm like, all right, I'm good.
That's it.
And I spent like 20 gold.
That's it. It was like 6K for 10. 6 gold for 10K as opposed to 15. That's a big difference.
Oh But I almost became a sucker though because of time restrictions. I was like, should I just blast it out real night? Because I got to get back to hanging out with my brother's family, and I'm like, wait a second, another hour, and I'll have that. I'm not freaking doing that. So I just took the longer road. And I got it all done, and I'm like, I almost threw 100 coins down on blitzing, but I'm like, why? You're smarter than that.
Yeah, I mean, I looked at it and I turned around. I said to the missus, I said, "No, I'm not doing that. I'm not blitzing this one. Not at that cost. No." I said, and I was in a good place because I looked at it and I thought, okay, I can suffer the 3 gold each time. I can live with that. So, and I sat there and I done 1 2.5 hour break, done the second lot, half-hour break, and then did the third one. And normally I find it very grindy because it's very intense when you're running with a grease monkey for an hour and a half, and you can't, you have to be there. You're trying to get as many points as possible. I find that quite intensive experience. You know what I mean? Yeah, because.
I did a couple hundreds, and then I was like, all right, after like 2 or 3, and then it came to that decision. I'm like, all right, screw this. Finish this one, throw it back in the dock, rip that fleet out, put the razors on, go hit 3 targets, rip that off, put the mana cores on, go hit 3 targets, and then repair. And then I got my shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah, I went out with my mana cores, I hit 3 targets, then brought them back to my base, didn't have to repair. And I took my bat rays out, and I was able to kill 3 100s with my bat rays before they were dead. Then I took my razor tails out, and I was only able to kill 2 of the 102s, and then I lost my flagship.
I lost that, after 2 as well.
I was like, okay, so now I'm waiting on the razors to repair because I'm not going to coin this event. So I'm waiting on my razors to repair, and when they repair, I'll go get my third 102, and then I've got, everything done.
I would have thrown like 2 coins on the razor, the flag, in that situation, and just got the last one. That's what I did. I've
already got enough points that I've already got the flagship cooking.
Oh yeah, so you're in the same. It's just a different strategy, but it's the same.
So I don't know why waste even 2 coins. Just fuck it. I'll just wait till they repair, and then I'll go out and get another 102, and I'll grab the armor, and then I'm done.
You're right. I just didn't want to waste my greaser, so I was like, I'll throw 2 on here and one.
Not even using a crew. I wasn't even using a crew on any of my fleets.
Nice.
I took my manis out, 1, 2, 3, hitting 3 90s in a row, and then sent them back. Got 15 hours of repair, but still.
But we all found the 102 more painful.
The 102 isn't really that painful. It just everything targets the flag.
Yeah, everything. Yeah, the flag melts the fastest.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got 15 minutes of damage. I've got 15 minutes of damage on each of the 4 regular razors and a dead flagship.
Yep.
Yeah, after 2 hits.
That's weird. I got about an hour and a half-ass driving, and it was more or less even. I mean, the flag had a little bit more, but not that much more.
No,
George, you might
mine's
have a better
all
fleet
black.
though. You might have a better build. I mean, my build is just what it is, and like I said, I wanted to tweak it, and I didn't, even though I could have for free with all the damn campaigns, but I ran out of time because I was being stupid and I was with family. And if I would have did that, I would have fine tuned everything, and I'm sure I would have been fine. But even after all that, I'm still fine. It's like, you know what I mean? It's
But
like it's not,
I think it might be the driving, because like I have that problem when I do the hundreds with the bat rays, but not with the razors in the 102.
it could be the
Weird.
approach. It could
See,
be
I'm
the
the
approach.
exact opposite of you, George, because my bat rays all barely take any damage. They all take even damage. Looks
Yeah.
like the fleet's being splashed. And then my razor tails is the one where I lose the flagship.
Do you guys
Something like
have
that.
do you guys have on your antis for each of the fleets, which one has the better anti-ship?
Well,
Which
see,
fleet has the better anti-hull?
mine's mixed. I don't have like you guys. I have like a couple antis per ship, which I should have. That's what I wanted to do with the campaign, was focus it all onto one ship. But I ran out of time and I didn't get a chance to do that because I heard you guys were talking about that. And if I would have did that, I probably would have been a lot better. But I have like 2 to 3 on each ship, so that's where I'm getting hammered.
And Dr. Death, you said your bat rays take even damage.
Yeah.
From your bat ray to your razor tail fleet, which one has the better
They're
anti-hull?
both pretty much built the same. I'm running equal antis on each ship across the fleet.
Yeah, see, that's what we're both doing. Versus
Weird.
George, you have all on one, right?
I have it all in one, and my
then you have-
razor tail fleet has a better, because I had more anti-torpedoes and stuff on that one. It's a better, like the build is better for the anti on that fleet than the bat, because the bat was my second fleet.
Yeah, same.
Personally, mine are pretty equal. Well, my bats take about 70 minutes of damage on the 100, and then my my razor tails take like 80 some minutes on the 102. So it's not that different, but I am taking more damage on the flag with the razor tail, even though I have the same setup as far as an anti-ship for both of them. And I think part of it, at least I allocate to the lag I get, because I'm getting lag, and then those Nighthawks go out of range, and then I got to re-engage them again.
Yeah.
So I think
I'm having
that's
a
part of it
very
for me.
similar.
I'm not losing flagships or anything like that.
Hey, Red, how's it going, bud?
Hi guys, good you?
Hey.
Just wanted to agree with Hefe. My experience is very similar. The 102 is the hardest for me, and just primarily because of the lag. It's I don't experience much lag, if any, in the 90 or the 100. But the 102, I don't know if it's because of all the rockets being fired by our ships. It just lags. I'm constantly lagging, and then I guess I take more damage because of that. So I didn't experience. Hefe knows how I play my events like this. I ran the Manticores to the ground yesterday, and I did 7 90s.
Nice.
Then I ran it repaired overnight. Then this morning I ran my bat race to the ground, and I did 10 100s.
Wow, nice.
Wow.
And then I went to run my razor tails to the ground, and I could only do 6 102s. So you see the difference there, right?
Yeah. Are you using a crew run or no?
I like using the sea serpents for
Okay.
both.
Yeah, the evade crew is important for the 100 and 102.
Yeah, the
Use the
evade and the
Hellfire.
turn, I find both help.
Yeah, Hellfire Heathens with the razor tails just rocks it, because I think the most I took was an hour and a half.
Have you guys?
But George, what's your distribution of damage? Because that's part of the problem. What was your distribution of damage with that relative to running the an evade?
That was the thing, is that on the 102, my razors come out mostly even for damage. I mean, the flagship takes a little bit more damage, but not with the disparity that everyone else is seeing, and I'm not sure why.
You're not getting as much lag as we are.
Have you guys? I have something to say.
Was
have you
turning
got-
off
Oh,
certain,
sorry.
certain settings the particle, the first 3 settings, just turn them off when you go to settings. The little gear in the upper right-hand corner, and go into your display settings and just get rid of the top 3 stuff.
Just turn them all off. If that's the case, I'm going to go turn them all off when I go back to go hit more targets. I haven't had a chance
turning them all
in like
off
a day.
Really, it doesn't help you as much.
It's not going to hurt. But I found out there's one thing I noticed is last night when I had like an hour and a half and I did a couple targets to get that flag going, I checked it out because I was trying to avoid all the ice, and then I'm like, well, let me see if this will affect anything. I was starting to drive right through the gas and it wasn't doing jack, and I was like, what?
Yeah, the green clouds don't hurt you, but the black ones do.
Yeah, the green clouds don't hurt at all. But they're there, and they make. And we're so used to them like eating your ship apart. But now they're not doing anything.
Well, if you notice, it's not now. It's always during the skirmish cycle. You notice they don't give you a down arrow when you go into them either, and they never have. They've never been causing damage.
Don't they hurt your Manticores though?
Yeah, well, yeah, Manticores, but that's assault. So he's talking about. I didn't.
I know. I heard exactly what he said.
I didn't test him through the whole skirmish cycle, but I did test him yesterday because I was just running low on time, and I'm like, if it's going to be like a minute or 2, I don't care. Let me just drive through it. And I'm watching my bar, and it's not moving at all. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is not affecting it at all.
Well, it's not even the bar. What I'm talking about is the down arrow that's showing that you're getting impacted by a
yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. When it affects the ship, you'll see that affection happening to the hull, and it'll show in the fleet. But I didn't.
So I had to disappear for a minute. I got a wife drunk in charge of a computer, and it wanted to do an update, and I had to stop her. It's like, no, I'll sort that out later.
Right.
Sorry, guys. I'm back on the topic.
Okay. So, should we rewind a little bit to if what Chris says is true, that we're not the TLCs in the upcoming week are not going to provide any Eradicator or Siege tokens. What's everybody's expectations again as far as what you want to build?
I would like to see it. Like I said, I would like to see 2 to 5 Siege and Eradicator tokens. Sorry.
Relative to what you want to do with the flagship, what you want to do with your rest of your ships in regards to the armor and everything else. What are your thoughts associated with that as far as, because I was expecting some sort of help through a time-limited campaign.
I was expecting. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, George. Go.
I was just gonna say I was expecting to get something, because this is the first time I've not had my fleet ranked.
Yeah.
I mean, it was and we have that other one coming out, and it's what the hell is it, like an 11-day build, 8-day build blank or something? I mean,
it's
7 hours.
9-4 or something. 9-4. Well, depends on your crews.
If I can't do the top tier target, I'm just gonna be wholly, I don't know, because I usually find some way to do it without having to blow any damn coin or anything. And I saved tokens. I did everything. And I don't know that I'm going to be able to be in a place where I'm going to enjoy doing the raid in any way. So
this is where I'm sitting, George. It's basically I could get 4 fleets fully built and probably armored, 4 ships fully built, but not the flag. I won't be able to get that done. So I'm not going to have a full fleet. I've always hit the top tier. I don't have the time to grind down lower levels. I just don't. If 4 fully built ships, eviscerators, eradicators, can't do the top one in the first raid, then I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it, because I can't drop down and spend days and days grinding for the lower points, because it's normally a big drop to jump down. yeah, that's where I'm sitting at the moment. So I can see myself. I'll see what happens. But if I can't get those points reasonable cost, then I'll wait until I get the flagship built for the second raid.
Yeah, we've been put in a position that I can't recall where it's like, it almost feels like they want us to coin days of builds, which I can't recall, George, Ren, whoever. I don't recall them ever providing us like a situation where it felt like you needed to coin days of builds on your ships in order to be effective. And
Well,
that's
in the
what's
past,
Sorry,
yeah, in the past that they've also made like I mean, you remember we used to be able to do the top tier targets without a full fleet for the first raid set, right?
And the people who did, but see, that was the thing. The people who did coin the fleet
had
during
an
that time
advantage.
period got their raid for almost free.
They had an advantage because they spent on the front end,
Right?
and not spent on the back end. Now
we don't
it
have that
looks like,
anymore.
yeah, now it's in the past year or so, I guess it's always been pay on the front end and the back end. Now it seems like you have to pay on the front end in order to be
So
able
you
to pay
can pay
on
the
the back
back
end.
end.
Yeah, and it's like I said, I think if this raid rolls out, I don't know that how many people are going to be able to have fully ranked fleets or fully built fleets, but if they can't if they can't play the raid, I have a feeling that it's gonna we're gonna see some really ugly things next month.
Now, George, if you remember last year, I remember in January, I think you were hitting the elite targets with Buccaneers. And I remember you and I had a good time sorting out why you had LA3 and I had CR3. And we realized that the damage were switched between the 80s and the elite. Remember that the elite gave almost everything ballistic and the 80s were more balanced or more towards radioactive or something. Anyways.
Yep.
That month, January last year, I could not hit elites. I had 4 Buccaneers. They were all missing one special. They were all missing one armor plate. And I was using the Highlander in the corner as flagship. So I did my raid in January hitting 80s. And I'm saying that just because that's my plan this year as well. I'm going to have 4 Eradicators. They will have 4 cannons each. They will have 2 armors each, and I think they'll have all the specials. And the flagship will be naked in the corner. That's based on my calculation, getting 6 days of tokens FM this week, then 6 more days next week, plus calendar time and no other tokens at all, no coining. That's as far as I'm going to get. I don't think that's going to allow me to hit elites.
And that's the name of my autobiography.
I hope that you can hit the A sets at least.
That is my full expectation, is that I'll be able to hit the A sets. If I'm not, I'll be very frustrated.
I mean, it's how they tune the first the raid, isn't it? The first raid, yeah. I mean, I think we can all accept if they turn up the damage a little bit in the second raid, because by then we should have the flag built. Because that's reasonable to accept that. Yeah.
But look, it's a 3-month raid set, and just like this past raid set, the damage went up significantly from raid to raid to raid.
Yeah,
and I don't know that that's good for the game or the community. I mean, in the second raid we had the first raid sets targets on the map. That's how I did my second raid. It was way easier to do it that way.
Yeah.
Than doing the damn targets, and I don't know the whole.
It's sad. I think it's sad to say, but Kix is on a new path of making money, and that's fine if they can limit that. And they're going to do it regardless. But it'd be nice if they're going to do that within like the first 6 hours, and then dial everything back down some. Because they're after that quick cash, and you can't blame them. They want the money, and that's what they do. It's not right, and they shouldn't be doing it.
I don't know that they're going for.
But they're getting a response from all these people that are saying, it's working. So why would they change it?
No, I don't think they're looking for the quick first couple of hour cash. I mean, but I think that they're definitely going back to that. I don't even remember when the hell it was. It was, putting that pressure on the community to coin, and that backfired last time with the last crew that or team that was in there. It's it's not going to end this. It's not going to end any different with the new crew. So
No, I mean, we're
But
all
they're
going
gonna
to
have
get
to learn the
tired of
hard
it.
way, won't they?
Yeah, I mean, if people don't have
Yeah,
the
they will.
holes, if they haven't got the holes to do the raid and win the prizes, then people can't compete. Going forward, that's that. Then people give up.
All right, what the fuck was that?
That's the problem
I
they've
know.
got.
I
I was
don't know.
about to-
Someone's
I was
getting
about
ready
to-
to drink.
I was about to say that's a dirty mind right there. I thought it was something else.
Anyway, on that note, I have got to go because I have visitors for the holidays. So y'all
Yeah.
have fun, enjoy, have a good New Year, and be
Good
safe.
news. Yeah, you too.
Yeah,
Good
careful.
New Year,
Take
George.
care, George.
Take care, mate.
All right, night, guys.
Get you some
I
votes here, buddy.
have to say something that Ren kind of brought up, and it was brought to my attention by the one guy in my line that me and him go across the builds with, and he was talking about using his Highlander, and like for me personally, I missed out on that ship and I never built it. So I mean, I'm not going to spend 7 days to get the flag bonus off of that. So I'm just going to build the flag eradicator.
They won't let that in a target. No,
You don't even. I'm just saying,
It's like they won't let the Katie's in this current thing.
I know. I tried using my
think they'll
Katie.
let the old flagships in the 80s, but of course not in the elites. So I'm counting that if I need to, I'll be able to use it in the 80s. But I'm doing the Eradicator flag
I
naked.
had 2 of those Highlanders built as it goes. Yeah. I think I've scrapped one. I've just kept one now.
And just for players, I mean, who don't remember, it's too many things to remember. I mean, if you don't have the Highlander, you can use the Unshackled Hellhound. It also gives a 50% radioactive resistance bonus.
Well, that's what I'm trying to get at. Like we're here to help other people remember things, and these people need to know that there are other options. If you don't have this, you can maybe use that if you have it around, just for the bonus.
And the cheap option for that is like if you have either the Highland Nuclear Cruiser or the Unshackled Hellhound, and that increases your radioactive resistance by 50%, even if you live in the corner, right? That means if you need cheap armor, quick armor on your Eradicators, you can just put a bunch of D1Cs.
Exactly, that's what I'm doing.
And it's going to stack up your ballistic resistance, and then the flagship will give you the radioactive, and it should help. Last January, that's how I did my first month. I hit 80s with 4 unfinished Buccaneers and the Highlander in the corner.
Sorry, go on.
What my plan was, I'm going to have. Originally, I was going to have the Brutal Eradicator and 2 regular Erads done, but being as I have the Highlander, I may change that and just get 3 Erads done, run my Highlander, and run ballistic armor and ballistic resistors on my Erads.
Yeah. That's my whole point. That's why I threw that into the mix, just for you to get a different idea and an option for a quick fix for the first raid. I mean, it's not going to work later, and you still got to build shit. But right now, if you got it sitting there and you didn't think about it, that's going to give you a little bit of a boost on half your defense, and then you can work on something else.
Yeah, I mean, and my nephew, who also played, he built an Avenger, I think, to park in the corner in the targets because it's buffs.
If they'll
let it in.
Well, yeah, that's always the thing too. What are they going to allow into the target? And of course, it's not going to work on any of the elites, but it'll work on the lower level targets. So,
right. Well, during the buck raid, I was doing the 80s with ironclads with the Highlander in it.
Yeah.
So
It's just another option. I just wanted to throw that into the mix just for people that are listening that are like, man, I can't do this. Well, if you have that, maybe you can like fine tune your ideas in the next week or two to where you can get points that you need to get.
And I'm hoping enough people know that by now, because I put out that Eradicator build video and it had 7,000 views so far. And I mentioned that in the video, and I mentioned using that flagship with D1Cs to save time. So I'm assuming at least 7,000 people, if they watched the entire thing or half of it, I don't know, got that. Plus the show here, so it helps people get informed.
Well, I would like to be back on the TFC page to see that because I was banned ages ago for some goofy thing, but whatever.
I'm not there anymore either, so I don't know.
Oh, so where are you posting this, Ren?
YouTube, just on my YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to start. I think I subscribe, but I'll have to look into that.
I've found the last year, every single raid in the last 12 months, that I have had to use Grease Monkey Cruise to make the damage acceptable.
Yeah.
And that's the first year I've ever had to do that in playing this game for 6.5 years or more. Maybe almost 7. I don't know. Yeah.
It's a lot of work to even roll those. I mean, you're going through like 10 million U, and then you might hit like 1 or 2 or maybe 5 if you're lucky. But I mean, you're burning like 10 million U. I'm
rolling as we speak.
Like I said, I haven't even got back in the game. I just got home and I'm on the show just for the insight because I love all you guys, and this is why we're here, to try to help the community figure out ideas to where they need to go next to get what they need.
Hey, for those days when you have nothing to do with your life, a great way of rolling crews is like you have the BP app on your phone, and you keep sending your bat rays on uranium targets, and on your PC you just keep rolling crews, and you never ever run out of uranium.
That's how I do it, Ren.
I like that idea. I haven't hooked it up to my phone yet. I was like, I do so much stuff on my computer, my laptop. I don't want it on my phone. You know what I mean? But I understand your point, and you make a very solid point.
But yeah, mine wasn't working. I had to delete the app and then reload it, and now it's working again because it just wouldn't log in. It just couldn't get in there. I'd get updates saying, you've got a ship that's repaired, but it wouldn't actually allow me to go and actually do anything. But I think that I had one of the first iterations of it, and they didn't update, and I hadn't updated it, so I just deleted it and reloaded it, and it works fine now, fortunately. But, that's the phone app.
Yeah, unfortunately, my wife has to do that for me.
But it is a good idea. I just haven't done it because, like when I'm out working or whatever, I'm supposed to be working. I don't want to be on my phone. But, I mean, it is good because, like, if okay, my ship needs to be repaired in 6 hours, I'll jump on for 5 minutes and I'll start repairing that. So by the time you get home to go play, your shit's fixed.
Yeah.
So there are many options in the positives for the reasons to use that.
I use it for doing my FM when I'm not home.
Yeah, even hitting 60s or 68, 61s. Points are points in the end. Who cares?
111s.
I do 111s with my icebreakers.
Yeah, well, whatever. I'm just saying, anything for anybody at any level. I mean, if you're even hitting 41s, if you set it to hit 41s while you're gone all day working, when you come home, you're going to have more points than you had before.
Yeah.
I think I did that on the first skirmish raid, like when my razor tails were repairing. I just had the prototype seekers out, and they could do 60s kind of non-stop, like 2-3 hours hitting 60s until you had to give up. And in the end, like you said, it's like 3-4 million points that you didn't have before.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I've only got a couple of. I need another 3 120s or 121s, and I've finished the raid, the FM anyway. So.
Well, yeah, I can do it in like 5 hours, so I'm not worried about it. But I'm just saying for other people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just things that a lot of people don't think about. I mean, the games have changed so much, and some of these people just don't know what we know. And it's like, it's nice to be able to share positive feedback to help them give a different insight on how to get things done without going all in.
Oh yeah, I mean, the old FM that they had before, where you did it you had to do it twice, if you remember correctly. It gets to a certain stage, then you start again. There was another part of it. It was in two parts.
Reset.
Each
Oh
one
yeah,
had
yeah, the reset. Yeah, that was the best. Then we get
That
like
was it, yeah.
13 tokens or whatever it was. It was awesome.
Yeah, I mean, I could do that with. Hang on, let's just accept this stupid crew a minute just to see what it was. Over here, I used to use what's the one that shoots down everything? I've still got 3 of the bloody things at the bottom.
Oh, the Bullseye Brigada or whatever.
Yeah, I've still got 3 of those now with a Bullseye Brigade on. Obviously, you can't imagine shot everything down. I could do, I think that lasts about 40 minutes, and I could do 2 runs. Then that would cost me, but I'd have to do quick repairs, and that would cost me £8 a week. But I didn't mind spending £8 a week to do the FM.
Yeah, why not?
I didn't mind because it was done. For £8, that's out of the way. But now I do the FM for free.
Yeah, I did mine too. I'll run my dragons in one run, and I'll get like 10 million, and then I'll repair it slowly. And then when it's done, if I need more, I'll go hit it one more run.
The one thing I'm doing slowly as I get them, it's those D6X and D6M. I'm slowly putting them on my Inferno Dragons to reduce repair time, just as I'm putting the M and the CO on my Manticores to reduce repair time.
Why the hell is Kickside being so fucking stingy with dragon tokens? They won't give them to us.
I don't know. We've been bitching about it for months, and they won't listen to us.
It's a fucking year-old fleet.
I used my last ones last week. You're right. I need more.
Have any of you guys got the Gal 4s on your Dragon fleet yet?
I have a couple.
I do.
Did it make much of a difference?
Yeah.
Not that a little, I guess, but I haven't really noticed it. Like I said, I just do quick 2-hour runs, and I'll get like 8 million. So I just blast through it, and then I slow repair, and then I go. So I don't notice it that much. Mike would notice it because he repairs after every hit.
Yeah, I'm going to pick up the Gal 4s, obviously, in this raid, whatever we're going to call it. Yeah. So I'm going to pick them up, and I was thinking of picking them up to drop them onto the Dragon fleet. That's what I'm going to use.
I even put MC3s on some of my dragons, and took off the flax.
Why would you put MC3? Do you mean MX3?
That's what I meant. The MX, whatever, the MS3. Yeah. You know what I mean. The missile instead of the flax 4s.
MDS3.
Yeah, that one. I put because I built my dragon fleet ages ago, and it was done. So when I got those new items, I would swap out one. This was months ago when I had time. Now there's no time to do any of that crap unless we had tokens.
Right.
Yeah, but the reason I've been bitching constantly about the tokens isn't for you or me.
No, it's for the masses. I know, I get it.
Players that still are building them.
Yeah.
And that's more the issue as far as
I said it last week. There should be one dragon token every FM available. I mean, there's a freaking Apollo token. Why would anybody need that?
Why would anyone need Tideseeker tokens?
That as well. But I mean, that could come into effect for low-level guys.
Well,
but the Apollo?
The Tides can still do the 111 for free.
No, you're talking about prototypes. We're talking about old tides.
Oh, sorry, not tides. Sorry, I was thinking icebreakers. It was smart on me. Yeah, I do apologize on that one. Yeah.
Centurion tokens.
Okay. Yeah. We've gone for an hour. I'm not ending it now, but in 2 minutes, just give everybody a chance to think. In 30 seconds, something that you've wanted to talk about, or something that you learned on the show, or something, and we may stop at that point, or because we've already gone for an hour. But we could talk for a couple more minutes. But I'm going to go from left to right on YouTube. So if you're looking at YouTube, you can see where you are. Ren's first, and then I think Dr. Death is second. Yada 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 down the list. So we can keep on going, but
your screen's different, so you're going to have to call it out.
I want to keep things productive and useful for the people that are watching this show. not the people just talking on the show. So. All good, but it's just a 2-minute warning until that happens.
On the
Okay.
spot. High pressure.
Who's first? You have to say who's first because Ren's next to me on my, but I'm on the Hangout, so it's different.
On the YouTube is where I'm going from.
Oh, okay.
You are. Let's see it.
All right.
Yeah, just 30 seconds each on whatever, and we can go from there. So already a minute's gone on, so I hope you all are thinking as far as all that goes. But yeah, just 30 seconds, and then if we spawn a conversation out of that, that's all cool. Otherwise, I think we're just sort of. I don't think a lot of people are following what we're talking about at this point.
Yeah, we're kind of ranting and raving, spinning off.
Yeah. And,
So you want
I want to try and limit that to his turn. So, yeah. So, should we start now? Are you ready, Ren?
You want to know what we think would help the game best?
Yes.
No,
How can you help the players best?
I thought, isn't Ren supposed to be giving his rendition?
Hey guys, my dinner's done, so I'm gonna have to bust off here. But you guys have a good night and a happy
He
New
didn't
Year.
want to give us 30 seconds. So, all right. Later, Dr. Jeff.
Take care,
Good night,
Dr.
man.
D.
Later, Doc D.
All right.
Later, D.
Ren, you want to go first?
Well, you just say
Okay.
30
Yeah,
seconds.
you call it because I don't have YouTube open. I mean, the video there's pause and the order for me is different. So
Yeah, you're first in line.
Okay.
And then Dr. Jeff.
I'm just gonna say overall, my only concern right now, and that's being discussed to death, is the next raid. How hard the targets are gonna be, and then the fact that they're gonna be releasing a second fleet as well, and then on the second month there's going to be targets like on the elite level, one for each fleet. So I'm not going to be ready in February, and I have the feeling I'm not going to be ready I'm not going to be ready in January, and I have the feeling I won't be ready in February for an elite set with 2 targets, one for each fleet. I don't like where this is going.
Okay. No, that makes perfect sense. Dr. Death left, so Magic Mike.
Yeah, I was thinking through this whole thing, actually, that I was hoping that we'd get into a conversation of how we would prep what we were able to build in terms of ERATs for this upcoming raid. Because personally, I'm going to have 4 completely built without armors. So I'm wondering, in my own mind, is it better to armor up a couple, or is it better to put an armor on each one? I wanted to go into a conversation in that direction because I haven't spent any coins. I had just using tokens and stuff and got an early start, but I did not put armor on purpose. And tomorrow my 4th one will come out, and all they'll need is armor if I built them right in the first place.
If you have time, I'd say, just my 2 cents.
That's what I'm looking for.
Put the armors you can, like the top-notch armor, put the ones you can. And if you run out of time, like put 1 per ship and then the second on each ship and then the third on each ship. The moment you run out of time, like you have a day to go, just fill up with D1Cs. I think you can add the D1C in 6 hours each.
Yeah, I did watch your video, and I did see that they are fairly quick.
Yeah.
But I was just wondering, I'm thinking I'm going to do 1 on each one, and I still have all the tokens. I missed 1 week's worth of tokens. So I have FM tokens times 2, and probably will have times 3. So it might be close, but there's no way I'm going to have the lead ship, and maybe not even blanked out.
Yeah, I'm kind of with Ren, and I want to just throw in a 2 seconds. Like when I'm building my ships and like my 4 ERADs, they're not, of course they're not ranked completely yet. But anyways, I'm throwing on like 1 or 2 pieces at a time. When that's done, I switch to the next ship. So I'm not fully building one ship at a time. I keep switching. So my suggestion is especially when you're doing armor, you add 1 to 1. When that's done, you switch to the next one. You add 1 to that. Then you switch to the next one. And then you go back to the beginning after those are done. And then you add the next piece on. And like Ren said, when you run out of time, start throwing on DC1s, D1Cs, whatever you want to call them. And just to get the bonus. It's not going to give you armor points. It's going to give you ballistic bonus, and that's what you're after.
And it's important. I mean, I think it's a pattern, we can say. All of these rage fleets, they have these auras that help each other with resistance, like bat rays, razor tails, eradicators are all the same thing. So I see some people going in the first raid with like 2 or 3 fully built ships, and then they're super weak because they don't have all the auras.
Right, because they're missing the 4th ship with the aura.
Yeah, and the same thing is like even if you have all ships, but one of them or 2 are fully armored and the others don't have any armor, they're gonna die first, and the moment they die, you can't use the fleet anymore.
Right,
so
you lose the aura.
You kind of want the fleet to die together, live together. So that I agree with you, building passes. And in the end, just improvise with some quick stuff.
Okay. Well, Watchman's next. We're keeping the timer at this point.
Okay, I want to go back to what I said earlier. If anyone's been suffering with lag, I found that the Kickstarter login was slightly less laggy, or switching over to hardware acceleration if your computer is powerful enough to do it. That was really it. You know, it made the game a bit smoother for me in both. Doing either, you know, and yeah, that's just to try and help people, be able to play the game without it crashing too quickly.
Yeah, and the whole thing with the settings, as far as removing a lot of the
that's it. Yeah,
extraneous shit. Yeah, that's
turn some of them off. I mean, we've got a lot on the map at the moment because we've got the weekly FM targets out there. I mean, the map is a cluster, isn't it? Sorry, it's a mess out there. You know.
Yeah. Well, I think you already went, High Lord, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm good, guys. You know, I've been so excited to be back on the show and back home in my house. I'm just like overexcited, so I apologize.
No, it's all good. I'm just making sure that you didn't think I was skipping you over.
No. I mean, me and Ren, we pretty much got the same point. But I just wanted to let everybody know, like, there are other ways around. Just use your brain a little bit. You don't have to just dump money, but you might have to spend a little, but use it wisely.
Ben, how's the chimney going?
It's getting full.
Okay, alrighty.
My thing is, advice for players is don't always expect to get everything out of the events and raids and that. Build what you can, do what you can, and the FM is extremely important. Get that where you can do it every week, even if you got to grind. When it comes to raids, there is a Merc page out there. You can hire someone to prep targets for you if you need.
I've been hired many times, so I mean, if you need hire, you can hire me.
Yeah, and the ones that can do it are willing to help. Usually, if you're trying yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, the past few months it's been a little crazy with getting targets done for myself. So my merking days have slowed down, but I was merking crazy like
the night is an easy one to merc because you can leave that first little building. You can ignore it, and then.
Well, I don't even mean the targets. I just meant like just getting my own points.
Yeah. But I mean, for one to prep, with a mantis or something, just leaving that first target in, it's a little building, isn't there, at the beginning of that target? Yeah. And you can leave it in there, or you can just leave those buildings at the end of it.
Okay.
Whichever way. Yeah.
All right. Paul keeps on jumping in and out. I'm not sure if he's trying to change his spot in line, but Paul, do you have anything you want to say? Okay. I'm guessing not. I think I've got most of my stuff away, already out there as far as how are we going to deal with the upcoming targets? What are they going to tune to? We don't know this information at this point. I wish we knew more information about what was going to happen, a week from now, a month from now. I hope everybody realizes that we lost the monthly calendar. It's December 28th. We still haven't got the December calendar out there, and how important that is for players that try to plan in the game and try and figure out, okay, this is going to happen. This is going to happen. This is what I need to build to. Because it wasn't until earlier this week that we realized we had one more week until the raid. The level of communication has been diminishing from Kixeye as far as just straight up, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. This has been diminishing, and it's not a good thing.
It's taking the same path every team is taking.
Hang on. I thought the raid was on the 10th.
It is.
It is on the 10th.
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, but it should have been the week before.
I don't know about that. It's the first full week, and you guys have missed that. It's already happened twice now. This is the second time. It's not the first day on the first Thursday of the month. It's the first full week of the month.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they took a while to announce that, so it's all good. It's all whatever.
And on the point you was saying is we don't know what's going to happen in the raid, like with the tuning and stuff like that, and that's what we're all worried about. The damage they're going to kick out because we won't have full fleets. I'm going to say the current raid that we're in at the moment, I think the damage is reasonable, considering most of us already have the fleets to do it. Okay, if they can tune sensibly like that for the first raid of the series, I think a lot of people will be able to compete. If they don't, the forums are going to blow up, basically, and so will Discord.
I see permaban on Discord coming up.
Yeah, I've not been banned from Discord, but from the forums, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's reasonable for them to have the damage set for people to have a full fleet of 5 with the armored ranks with the flag built. Those that have built that then get the advantage of doing it for next to nothing, but they're going to be a very small minority.
I would say 100, 200, 100 maybe.
Yeah, and they pay for that privilege.
And they should, but you can't adjust the entire raid to them.
No, not just to rank. Just to have the damage set for that fleet. It needs to be toned down for the majority of the players to make it reasonable, and that's the level I'm hoping they're going to set it at, and I'm sure 99% of us are.
The problem I have with them tuning the raid to the 100, 200 that went out and coined everything is they don't even get a kickback anymore for skillful driving and having the stuff. They're taking heavy damage too now.
Well,
there's no reward for skill.
The problem is if they're taking heavy damage, no one else has got a chance. So if it's tuned for a full fleet of 5, then it's impossible for everybody else. So it needs to be tuned for 4 built holes at the best. 4 holes without a flag.
I agree. I agree. The first raid of any cycle should be tuned to 4 regular holes of the new holes for that. It shouldn't be tuned past that. And even getting 4 out is a stretch. But if you're going to tune it to anything, it should be tuned to 4 regular holes at max, and that's it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And I mean, okay, I'm in a position where I try and save up my tokens, weekly FM tokens, things like that. So I should get 4 out, but then I won't have nothing really done on the flag. But if we knew that, you could say, all right, I'll save the flag until and get our VXP after the raid and have it ready for February. But we just don't know, do we? Because we, if they give us information beforehand, of course they don't want to, because they want to encourage us to coin the flag and get that out there. Yeah, so they don't want to give us that information. Because if they said everyone, oh no, you don't need the flag, for the first raid, everyone go, oh fine. There's no hurry in it. That's sweet. But the problem is if you do need it, it's going to be incredibly painful for everybody to have to drop down to the next tier and grind out slow points, much, much lower, because it's very punitive to jump down to the next level. The amount of points you get there is so much lower,
Well, it's not even that. Now that we're into this whole grouping of 2 ships, we're not going to have the time to build the Eradicator flag, even if you didn't start it or whatever, and then start building the Shreks for the next fucking raid for the targets.
I mean, I'm not planning on building the Shrikes. I'm not. To be honest with you, I mean, I'm sick of building 2 fleets.
They need to add more tokens in FM. There should be 15 tokens.
I think, and every time that we've had 2 fleets, one has been the outstanding fleet. It's always proved to be much better than the other one. So for me, it's been the Bat Rays was much better, and especially as we know the SSRPs and stuff like that. I've got a feeling that if you don't build the Shrikes, they're going to be the one that works in the future, like map targets, because they'll punish us for not getting them and not building them, so that they'll tune the future targets for Shrikes as opposed to if it's Eradicators.
Well, yeah, it's a numbers game. It's a numbers game. They see how many people built them and how many people didn't, and then they tune to that.
Yeah.
So it's like, you got to get these built, otherwise, you won't be able to go out and get X on the, X resource, whatever you need on the, later on in the game, and it's not something I'm happy with when you're being forced. Your arm's been twisted behind your back to make 2 fleets of everything. And in the last series, they said that choose your style of play, wasn't it? Each.
Yeah, that was a lie. That was a lie. That was like okay for the first one, and then after that, it's like, yeah, choose your style, but you're definitely going to have to build both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we was lied to basically. And it doesn't win them any brownie points from me.
No.
Something I want to know about the Shrike, though. Is it considered a sub?
Yes.
I hope it's not, because it's going to mess up everything, because you're not going to be able to throw 1 coin on it and then take it back out of the dock. And that's going to mess up everything.
Exactly.
The flagship is a phantom, so it's considered a sub.
And if it is considered a sub, are they going to change the zombie rule?
They should.
What the hell is going on? We've got surface fleets in a skirmish raid, and now we've got a sub fleet in a siege raid, or whatever is there?
I mean, it's all backwards, and that's fine, but they need to take away the zombie freaking thing, because we should be able to throw 1 or 2 coins on to finish a target if we need to, and not have to repair the entire fleet 100% just to get it out of the dock.
Right.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. They're subs.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. You should come on, man.
By the way, they said due to popular demand or whatever, they decided to release 1 ship at a time. Who asked for that? I didn't.
Yeah. Is there one guy? Is there one guy? Is there a guy?
I didn't ask for it, but I actually didn't mind it for this, because there was such an overload of things we had to do between the upgrades and the tier 8, the reconfigurations and and all the freaking walls and everything going on. I mean, I didn't mind it at this moment in time. I'm not saying future they should do it that way, but at this moment in time with everything that was going on, I didn't mind it, to tell you the truth.
I liked having the choice like we had in the skirmish. Here are both. You can pick one.
I think the popular demand was not from the player base.
But I never voted for it, so I mean, if that's your question, it wasn't me.
I never even seen it asked about.
Yeah, they never asked any of us. They just said, "Oh, by popular demand." It's like, woo, the guys sitting around the table in your conference room.
Well, that's
it wasn't none of us.
That's what I was going to say. The popular demand was round the king boardroom table. That's where the popular demand came from, because it wasn't from the player base.
Popular demand was from their bean counters.
Yeah.
Because people were calling to get this fleet faster so they can start.
Yeah, I mean, who knows how that worked? I mean, as far as I mean, there hasn't been a lot of reporting back as far as how they make the decisions that's based on the player base and whatnot. That has not been. They have not been forthcoming with that information, and I wouldn't expect them to ever be.
No, but there's
using the term.
There's so many avenues that make money.
Popular demand. The fact is, what we've said is we don't want two bloody fleets to do one raid series.
Yeah, that's by popular demand. One fleet only, and that's it.
Not release them at different times. Is that we don't want two fleets. We want one fleet that does the job, and that's it. Only have to build one fleet.
Like it used to be.
And if not even that, they're, like I said earlier in the past, me and John have gone for hours after the show's ended about this. If you're going to have to where you make two fleets, that's fine. But the Shrike should have level 200, level 201. The ERAD should have level 100, level 101. So if you want to complete a set, you can complete a set for that fleet. You don't need both fleets to get the bonus.
That's it, yeah. Each ship has two targets.
I will you need to put that in the suggestions on Discord.
It makes some money.
So do we have anything else after our little review through the panel? Do we have anything else that we think is good for people to hear live, or should we go to the after show and anybody can say whatever they want?
I say watch the show, take some of our advice. It's not always what you might think, but we actually believe in building the player base, and we want to help everyone. And we've been around for 7 year, and we're not saying we're gods or any of that. I still suck, but
I'm a fucking god.
I know how to. I've figured out the puzzle pieces, and the majority of the time I can put them in the right order. But I still am not great. You know what I mean? I mean, it's just take all the information you can and use what you can with what is given to you, and try to do your best. And ask for help if you need it.
Yeah.
But you got to try. You got to always try.
Yep.
Yeah. You can't be lazy and then complain. Yes, I completely believe in that. And that's what this show is about. We don't. We're not going to give you the exact builds to do stuff, because that I consider that lazy. I mean, you got to do your own fucking thing. In my mind, try to understand the game. Don't just expect people to post it all the time and whatnot. Do your own thing. Try to understand the game, and that's what we try to talk about on most of the show. Sometimes the open mic
this
goes
is exactly it. I mean, when I post builds,
the main idea is we try and provide information on things that we see in the game, so that the players can take advantage of that. And that's what the show is about.
When we post builds on the Alliance page and things like that, I always put faults, because I want feedback. I don't necessarily have all the correct builds, and obviously probably especially on the razors, but you want feedback, and because you want them to be thinking about the build, because you don't want them to just cookie cutter build everything that you copy what you've done, because somebody might see something and think, oh no, if you, as we've said before, you've got 300 specials, yet you might have missed one, and you think, oh yeah, I didn't think of that,
And not even that. They tune it to a certain thing. You're not noticing what they've tuned it to, and someone's like, well, this is actually working better. And you're like, holy cow, you're right. Let me do that as well. So you want that constant feedback.
Yeah, and then when you see a build, when you see a build, you're not sure about stuff yourself, have a look, go through it. You know what I mean? See if you can swap out a special here and there and see if you think it makes it better. Try it yourself first.
Yeah, but at this point in time, we're going into a new raid cycle. I assume that evade doesn't mean crap, right?
Yeah.
I assume that.
And no
But there's not
countermeasures.
a lot of information to back that up.
Yeah, there's definitely no countermeasures. So do not have countermeasures on your ships.
No, I'm talking about evade.
Well,
No,
based on the VXP we can target, it seemed to be everything was splash based.
Yeah, but it was hard to tell because unless you coin the crap out of it, it was hard to tell. Well, you know what I mean, right?
I mean, we've got.
Yeah, well, my fleet didn't even have weapons.
I mean,
you're right. There was no way for me, at least, to test this versus that and do an A/B test. I'm just saying, it looked like it was all splash.
And we have specials.
You can't evade splash. You can't evade splash.
No, but we have them. We have
Well,
specials that reduce them.
Yeah,
but,
George back on. You can sort of evade splash, but it's not.
Yeah.
It's not the big thing. But yeah, it's dumbfire versus what? Yeah, it's
Direct hit versus dumbfire. It hits the whole fleet, or it's actually you can get out of the way. We'll see. And now we got walls coming. Oh my god, I don't even want to start that conversation. Mountains, whatever they go, cliffs.
Oh no!
I thought we switched it to cliffs.
Don't even get into cliffs. We have mountains coming, and yeah, those are basically really tall walls that you can't shoot through and can't break down. And we're gonna have them in our base at some point.
Oh, you can't shoot over, is it?
Yeah, it'll be about 4 months. I bet you we see them.
Yeah. No, they've already told us that that's the that's what's gonna happen. So, oh my goodness. So I don't know that we have much more to talk about. We've been going for an hour and a half. I'm getting exhausted because I'm not certain that things are going in the right direction.
No, they're definitely not. That's for sure.
Well, and it just sort of exhausts me because it's
Yeah, I think it's messy at the moment.
I think our shows have actually gone more positive in the last week or two. So that's
how are you doing? Is my microphone working?
Hey, you're working, Paul. Go for it, bud.
Yep.
Go ahead.
No, it's not.
I know. It worked for a second.
Oh, right. Yeah, it is.
If he's using a solar-powered mic, tell him it doesn't work much at night.
I think he got his mic from.
Well, he must be in Australia if he's using a solar-powered mic, because it's there's not much sun in my part of the world at this point in time.
He got his mic from Kickside. It's working as intended.
Yeah, right.
Alrighty. I don't see much more that we're going to talk about tonight that's going to be constructive in any way. I'm going to put the link up in case anybody would like to join the after show.
The after show is the best. You learn so much. Trust me. That's why I'm here.
I have one thing to say before we close the show, Hefe.
Okay, go ahead.
Everyone go vote for George as Pirate of the Year.
Is that even a possibility? Do they? What are we in the NBL? I mean, do they even have that? I saw it on one of the pages, but that's just a page. I mean, that's not a real thing.
Well, somebody gets a hat. Somebody gets a hat. Right now, Ren is number one to get a hat.
Is that like a real thing? Like I haven't, like I said, I haven't been on.
What are you talking about? I mean,
I'm tempted to make one up, but yeah.
What are you talking about?
I think BP Hammer Time. I've got Pirate of the Year award.
No, it's a TFC thing. It's a TFC thing.
Where, TFC got one as well, was he? Yeah.
Well, TFC started the whole thing. TFC has this thing.
Well, I don't see any of their messages.
There's nominations for Pirate of the Year, and Ren, you're winning by a huge amount.
I didn't even know that. That's funny.
I forget who's number 2. George is number 3, which is really surprising.
Liam
on TFC site, but Yeah, it's a TFC poll that's somehow connected with Kixeye to give away one of their extra hats.
I did not realize that was real. I don't get to see any TFC pages because I was banned. I was banned. If they can unban me, that'd be awesome. But
I left the TFC page because I didn't like the fact that I wasn't allowed to put a negative comment on there.
I know you weren't allowed to comment on anything. I think that's why I got banned.
So I thought, okay, because there are times when you have to say stuff that you're pissed off about, and so I thought
we all have different ideas. I mean, sorry, I didn't agree with the rest of you, but I'm just giving my point of view. Sorry, and then I get banned. What the heck?
I must admit, Liam did personally message me afterwards, and he was quite reasonable. So I'll give him that. But,
All right. Well, the dirty talk between you and Liam is really not part of the current show.
I was hoping it would be.
We're going to go to the after show, and you can hear what Watchmen at the end. So, thanks everybody for showing up, and unless something happens, we'll see you on Wednesday. But if something happens, I don't remove my ability to create an emergency show, but I don't really see anything happening between now and then. So, good night, everybody, and we'll see you later. We'll see you early next week on Wednesday.
I got a positive. If you're a male pirate and you like watching half-naked ladies, download Pluto TV. It's free, and watch Kalupi TV. It's like a bunch of chicks dancing around in bikinis. I watch it the entire show because I have my volume turned down so I can talk. I'm just joking, but it's funny as hell.
Damn it, you got me busted by my wife.
Sorry.
Yeah, that is where we met Ben's wife. But yeah, again, in the after show, we'll see y'all there.
See you. Happy New Year, everyone.